What it do, YouTube? My name is Chase. This is Chase Down coming back to you with another NBA video. And I really want to just jump straight into it. I've been thinking about it all day. I'm very eager. I really just want to get into it. So I'm going to get straight into it. Like the video, subscribe, comment anything you want, and let's get straight to it. In the NBA, there are three types of teams. There are contenders, there's buyers, and there's sellers. The Milwaukee Bucks are supposed to be a contender. They have one of the best players in the league with Giannis Antetokounmpo. They have Damian Lillard, and they added some key pieces over in the offseason with a Chris Middleton coming back to being healthy. This team was supposed to be a contender, but we are 6 games into the season. They're 1-5. They don't look good. Defensively, they're almost last in the league, and we knew this was going to be bad. We expected them to not be a top 10 defense at all, but we expected them to be relatively decent. But the offensive side of the ball was supposed to pick all that up. Damian Lillard and Giannis, some of the best offensive scorers we have in this league. Giannis can get to the paint at will. Damian Lillard, one of the best three-point shooters ever. And I mean that ever. He's going to be in that conversation at the end of his career. And when you pair two of those people up, you expect greatness out of them. But the last 2 seasons, first-round exits. Yes, Giannis was injured. Dame got injured. It's been a little difficult. But starting off the season like this, and I may be overreacting, I think this team should be sellers. They haven't seen success since they beat Phoenix Suns in the finals a few years back. They've been first-round bounces or second-round bounces. They haven't had a conference finals appearance, and they just don't look coordinated out there. There's a problem on that court, and it starts with Giannis. Giannis, we know what he can do. We know how dominant he is. But when it comes to Dame, they don't mesh well as much as we thought they would. Giannis doesn't want to set a screen. He's a big body and doesn't want to get physical unless he has the ball in his hand. And Damian Lillard has been so used to carrying a team, I don't think he knows what it feels like to take the back seat. So when he takes the back seat, it doesn't work out for them. Chris Middleton has been injury prone for the past few years. No, he is not an injury prone player like people say he is, but as of right now, it's close to calling him that. Brook Lopez is only getting older, and everyone else on your team is old and not competitive. With this lineup, I can't possibly see how they make it to the finals or even win the finals. Yes, they have 2 of the best players on earth, but I can't possibly see them getting better. Doc Rivers hasn't been a good coach. He hasn't been a good coach, that's why he's been bouncing from team to team. He isn't no Eric Spoelstra, so I am dropping them to sellers. But I believe the NBA keeps on going through the years. In the Bucks right now, yes, you have 2 of the best players on the earth, but you have to realize this league will keep going even after they retire. And if you want to win, it is your best chance to sell now before Dame gets too old and Giannis gets too old. Or, even worse, leaves on his own. So why not make the trades now? For my first trade, I say trade Giannis. He is your star piece, but he's disgruntled. He wants to leave already. He's made hints at it before, and he wants to win. He's one of the best players in the world, and he wants to win. No doubt about it. You're not winning in Milwaukee. Trade him away. You know how much value he has? He has all the value in the world. And all you have to do is trade him to my first team, the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets are borderline buyers and contenders. They just need that one more piece. They have the same problem as OKC, where they have a lot of picks and they have a lot of talent. The only problem with that is they don't have a player like Shea, who's going to be able to carry this team and be the building block for this team. They don't have that yet. Their 2 best players are Sengun and Jalen Green. And their 2 stars, they're fighting on who if they can give them a max contract. But I think when you add Giannis to the squad, they are contenders. All they got to do is trade some of these picks away and trade some of these players away. You have Tari Eason, you have Jabari Smith, you have Reed Shepard, you have Amen Thompson. You have so much value on that team. Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet. You can get rid of these players for a Giannis. You give a big package away for this guy. I know you guys can make it happen. It's a win-win situation. Milwaukee gets a future. They get nice young talent. They get some picks. And then Houston becomes a contender. Giannis is on a winning team. It seems like a match made in heaven. They have everything each other needs. Milwaukee needs a future. Houston wants to win right now. Give it to them. Make this team last longer than Giannis' career. And then Damian Lillard's by himself again. No, I don't want him by himself. He's a great player and he wants to win too. That's why he left Portland. All that loyalty he had to that team, he finally got rid of it when he left to Milwaukee. He wanted to win. It's not working out. He's only getting older, and players are getting younger. Each team's getting better each year, and one team I think has been a very big letdown this year is the Detroit Pistons. I believe the Detroit Pistons have a squad, but that fourth quarter is where everything goes to shit. They can be winning all 3 quarters, but that fourth quarter they're going to blow that lead because everyone crumbles down. And Cade Cunningham cannot lead this team to victory. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. I have him in my MIP category, but I don't think he can lead this team in that fourth quarter because his bag is not that good. He's not going to give you separation. He's not going to be able to shoot the 3 ball at will. And in the fourth quarter, teams get onto that. These role players can only do so much. Tobias Harris can only do so much. Tim Hardaway Jr. can only do so much. In that fourth quarter, you need someone to hold it down. And that player is Damian Lillard. You have Jaden Ivey. You hit on that draft pick. He hasn't been the best, but you hit on it. Trade him away while he's at his peak right now. I know you guys can make the money work. You guys have so many of your guys' own picks. And again, Milwaukee gets a future. They get a nice young star in Jaden Ivey, who I think would thrive under his own team. He could have that Tyrese Maxey role. Give him a few years by himself and he will be good. Build a team around him and you'll be good. Jabari Smith, mix him up over there. You just got him from the Giannis trade. Detroit Pistons have a lot of team here. They have a nice shooting coach. They have a nice coach who cares about winning. And they have players who want to turn this franchise around. So let's do it. Let's not waste another year. Again, these teams are only getting better. And you're only getting worse. Cade Cunningham, I believe, is a great player in this league. But he's a tough shot maker. And that doesn't fly. It doesn't fly later in the game. And I think Dame and Cade could have the same role as Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They both play together. Jason Tatum shoots all the threes. JB gets to the rim. And yet, Jason Tatum can still get to the rim and JB can still shoot a few threes. But we know which one prioritizes the other most. And then, at the end of the first quarter, Jaylen Brown takes a seat. Jason Tatum carries the team. Jason Tatum comes off the bench, or goes to the bench. And then Jaylen Brown comes on and carries the bench unit. The same thing could happen for Detroit. Cade is a point guard. I'm not taking that away from him. Dame is a great point guard. I'm not taking that away from him. But Dame can space the floor out. He's a catch-and-shoot artist. He can catch and shoot the ball. Cade can get to the hoop. He can get a few threes in. He can play make. And then at the end of the first quarter, send Dame off. Send Dame off to the bench. Cade, take over. Cade, you're getting tired? Put Dame back in the game. But when that fourth quarter hits, that's who I want the ball going to is Damian Lillard. King of the fourth quarter. We know what he does. It's Dame time. He's going to get that last second bucket. He's going to get you that last win. The reason why they're losing so many games is because they can't hold down that fourth quarter. And with the addition of Dame, you are no longer a bad team anymore. You're no longer buyers. You're no longer sellers. You still have a young team in Ron Holland, Ausar, Cade, Jalen Duren. It's beautiful over there. And now you'll have teammates who actually want to run screens for Damian Lillard. Giannis doesn't want to run a screen anymore. Brook Lopez, we know he isn't driving to the hoop. You have Jalen Duren now. Get to the hoop, throw a lob. Now you have Isaiah Stewart. Pick and pop a mid-range. Or you can run a Cade and Dame screen. It works beautifully for this team. If they can make it happen, I'm doing it. You still give Milwaukee a future. You're giving them young talent. You're giving them picks. And now you're making yourself a team that is no longer a bottom feeder team trying to get the next big pick. You are going to be at least a play-in team with Damian Lillard on your team. When All-Star comes back, he brings you that defensive presence, and you're good. You're going to be fine. You're going to be a great team, and now you have a future. Now you have something that gives Detroit fans hope. You still have Tim Hardaway Jr., you have Tobias Harris, you have Jalen Duren. That is a team. It may not look great on paper, but that's a team, and you add Dame to the mix and give Jaden Ivey a new start on a different team because, again, you hit on that pick. But sometimes you have to do the greater good for your teammates. I believe the Milwaukee Bucks can have the key to 3 different teams. Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, themselves, the Milwaukee Bucks. It's a win-win for everyone, and that's why I believe the Milwaukee Bucks could save these teams. My name is Chase. This is Chase Down. Like, subscribe, comment any feedback you may have for me. Thank you for watching. See you guys again next time.